Everybody wants your attention right now. Everybody wants to be in your business. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know what you're up to. And you are ready to retreat. But Spirit is certainly showing me it's not time for you to necessarily hide yourself away. There are some attachments and situations you might want to break free from. But I think the most important thing is that as long as you're trusting your intuition and your spiritual wisdoms that you're receiving, either from your pastor or from, the powers that be themselves, however you communicate with higher powers, that and intuition, these internal answers are what you're being asked to pay more attention to. Somebody is thinking that you are just the most attractive spiritual being that they've ever met. I think a lot of people are finding themselves even more attracted to you because of your spiritual wisdom, your intuition, and your beliefs. I also think that they think you have a very gentle hand. You're a gentle guide. And this is one of the things most desire about you. They do find you physically attractive, but it's your spiritual evolution that is making people more drawn to you than ever. And I think there are a lot of people around you who have you wondering if you can trust them, if you should retreat from them. And I do think that you're being asked to kind of ground yourself, focus more on that internal voice, and ignore the chatter around you. There's only one voice that you should be listening to, and it's internal. You have gotten so attractive, or you have recently come into communication or a reunion with someone who is extremely attracted to you. I do think this is a reunion for a lot of people because it's giving that your spiritual evolution, you're not where you were spiritually when they left you, or rather when you ran away. I think somebody either wants to retreat or has already retreated. I think that people are finding that you're not where you were last time that they saw you, and you've had a spiritual growth. You've started listening to your internal wisdoms more than looking for help outside of yourself. Spirit is definitely wanting you to continue with that, looking to your internal wisdom, but also looking to your higher power. Like if you believe in God, or if you believe in whatever you believe in spiritually or religiously, that's what you're being called to lean more into. For further wisdom. There are many of you who have decided to withdraw from a situation. And there are some of you who are considering withdrawal from a situation. In both cases, I'm being called to encourage you to, instead of leaving the group, instead of leaving the chatter and the other people, to really just turn off your listening ears, because I think there's been a lot of outside forces, a lot of outside information, input, opinions that have not helped you. They've only served to confuse you. And there's a strong sense that your inner voice, your intuition, and your spiritual beliefs are going to be the guides for you. If you're looking for advice, if you're looking for wisdom, then there needs to be more of meditation. There needs to be more prayer. There needs to be more taking yourself away from the group, knowing that you'll return. If this is like, say if this is a work situation, when you go home, when you clock out and go home on Friday, there's this need for you to spend parts of that Saturday, Sunday working on your internal and working on your spiritual beliefs. So if Saturday you're doing self-care, beauty rituals, taking spiritual baths, and then Sunday maybe you're going to church, or you're just praying and meditating heavily, there's a need for you to renew yourself and get back in touch with those internal voices and those spiritual intuitions. But I also can tell that your spiritual evolution has made you extremely attractive to one or more people. There is someone who has a strong desire for you. They think you're very beautiful. They think your spiritual wisdom and intuition elevate your beauty to no end. I think for a good majority of people, maybe you left a situation and came back, or you left a situation and somebody from this group or whatever that you left has found you where you are in your new place, and they see that you're not the person you were when they last saw you. They see that you're a lot more grounded. They see that you're a lot more poised. They see that you are walking in your divinity or on a journey of divinity. It's possible that you have gotten married or want to be married, or you have, I'm hearing baptized. There's a lot about spiritual waters. There's a lot, like, there has been a cleansing, there has been a renewal, there has been growth, there has been change, and you have become aloof, you have become a little cold, not super cold, but you have definitely become the type of person who has such emotional depth, and yet you low-key want to cut yourself off from other people, or, excuse me, I feel like you have wanted to run away and disappear from the crowd. And that has elevated you, like turning to that internal wisdom is the reason why you have come back as a leader of that crowd. And somebody in that crowd strongly desires you, and likely thinks about you when the lights go down. But I also think that they feel like they should be worshiping at your feet because you've elevated so much on a spiritual level. I literally have the message here, I want you and I'll be gentle. This deck is not overtly full of desire. There is a lot of Wands energy, but somebody thinks that you're the one. And I don't know if they think you're the one, like they want to marry you, but I do have the Hierophant here, or they think you're the one like Neo. It's really given both. They think that you are a spiritual leader, and they think that you're a teacher of sorts. And this could be spiritually, this could be your internal wisdoms, this could be just you've grown so much that they want to take notes. Because I literally before, like I was like, I'm not sure if I should take this card. I reshuffled because I was like, maybe it's coming out because this came out a few weeks ago, but the card was I need to know more. So I highly see, I see students at your feet with the Hierophant card. People are taking notes. People think that you have graduated, evolved, come to a very, I was going to say the next level, but it's giving 3 rungs higher. It's giving, there's God, and then he, like with your communication with your highest self or with your God, there has been such a communication there that people want to take notes. I hope I said that right, but I do feel like you have the magic wand. I'm hearing the song, I don't want to say what I'm thinking, but I'm also hearing the song Magic Stick. It's literally written on this card. And this is the Ace of Wands. So I feel like between that and the Hierophant, somebody is seeing that you're walking in your power, or rather sitting in your power, because I have 2 seated characters. I feel that your aloofness, your withdrawing, your going within is what has elevated you, but you're also being asked not to completely run away. So maybe instead of running away and withdrawing, you're just being asked to take a seat. Final message here. We want to have a testimony, but we don't want the test. So you've already been through the test. They're seeing that you have a testimony. I don't know if you've said it with your words yet, but they see that you've come a long way spiritually and internally. They see that your mental and physical has improved because you've been doing the spiritual work. You've been doing internal work. I do think you need to be gentle with yourself, but somebody also wants to be gentle with you. Yeah, you are very attractive. One look says it all. Birth and rebirth. This is fertile energy. Plan accordingly. So birth and rebirth, you are a new person. Waters have washed away your sins. I knew I was seeing a baptism in these cards, but I literally didn't know why. It was just like intuitively, and now I'm seeing it. There's a baptism here. There's a birth and rebirth. There's a new beginning, and people are taking notes. That is my final message. Feel free to share your testimony as it feels right. But otherwise, I legitimately think the way that you carry yourself, people are taking notes, and that's enough of a testimony. You've been through the test. You've had enough. You're not supposed to abandon this crowd per se, but you're leading by example. Feel free to speak the wisdom that you've learned, But I mean, I'm saying that you don't have to say anything. They can see the difference. They know where you've come from. They see where you are now. And they can kind of put the pieces together as to what has changed. I also see that as spiritually elevated as you've become more humble. You've become more grounded. You've become more connected to the earth and the meekest of its people. And if you haven't, I'm strongly feeling called to advise somebody, especially if you've been considering this, find a way to give back. And this isn't financial per se. This isn't even with your words, because people are taking notes. The people who knew you then, they see the changes and they're taking notes. But there are some people, and I'm hearing the meek shall inherit the earth. And that doesn't mean throw away all of your riches, but I've seen that you've done better things with the opportunities that you've had, and there's still things that you can do. I'm feeling called to ask somebody to donate some things that they're able to let go of. And I'm hearing charity work loudly and clearly. I don't know why, but I'm going to trust it, because I wasn't sure why I was saying baptism, and now it's like I can't miss it. Now I'm like, oh, that's why. But I'm feeling called to ask somebody to do charity work, and also to donate some things that it's time to let go of. I do see somebody in tattered garments, and they're still able to look like they're still being looked at as if they're on a throne with a crown placed on their head that came from the divine. You are definitely walking in your divinity. You are definitely a crowned individual. And yeah, there it is in the past. That's that group again. And I also have the Six of Wands in the past position, the Four of Pentacles. So people are who have been trying to hold on to you. They've watched your victory. They have been wanting to connect with you and celebrate with you. And they think you're so beautiful. You're dressed for the party, but you have no intention of going to the party. You have no intention of showing up in the way that you used to. If the past energy is this party, I'm showing this camera. This is a faceless channel. I'm seeing, though, you've been invited to the party. You used to go to the party quite a bit, but now you're dressed for the party and you just don't want to go. You'd rather be a party for one. You'd rather sit at home in your beautiful gown and just meditate. You'd rather spend the evening by yourself. You'd rather listen to things that suit you. You'd rather be involved with your internal development. So I do see you dressed up, and I think you love what you're wearing. You feel beautiful, but I think you feel most beautiful when you're at home by yourself. So I think there is, for somebody specifically, it's a dress, but I think there's an article of clothing that is tattered and torn, and you probably should give away if you're going based off of just like how the holes in this are like it's a little beat up, and you're like, I probably should donate this or scrap it or throw it away, but I just can't let it go. I don't think that's the item you're being asked to let go, but you're definitely being asked to do charity work, a community garden, feeding the hungry, clothing the hungry. So maybe you keep this tattered and torn dress, but there's probably a coat that you can let go of, that somebody would really appreciate this season. I do also think that somebody is going to get into sewing, creating, especially creating garments. Somebody's called to make garments for the needy. But did I say community garden? I don't know if I said that out loud, but somebody needs to be involved in a community garden. That for a lot of people, that's going to be like, I always like to think of gardening as the Lord's work. You're literally feeding the earth. You're feeding yourself. You're able to feed others. I'm hearing I'll be gentle in a different way. So even though I think that's somebody's desire with you, that's also the desire that you might want to take on, being gentle with the earth and with yourself. Oh, I didn't know there were more messages on the back. Yeah, King of Cups as your lover. That is so wild, because the back of the deck of the tarot deck is the Queen of Cups. Apparently, I'll be gentle is an implication that the King of Cups is your lover. So we literally have back of the deck Queen of Cups, back of the deck King of Cups. Two different decks. One I made and one I purchased. I want to give you love like you have never known. That is so beautiful. And we have no in reverse. So there were a lot of no's in your past, especially. That is in a past position. So a lot of no's and a lot of rejection in the past. But people are seeing you in this whole new light, and somebody who probably didn't say no in the past, but they watched a lot of doors close in your face in the past. And they probably didn't even feel like they were worthy. They feel at your feet. Now they see that you are even further from them, but they also see that you're not interested in a lot of people that are coming your way, be that romantically, be that job offers, be that relatives. You're not interested in that old group mentality. You're not interested in your old hangout buddies like you used to be. But one person from back there who saw what you were, who saw what you had, who saw what you've been through, they are thinking about shooting their shot. They didn't have the confidence before, and you've become even more inaccessible. You have become even less accessible to the group that this person knows you from. And yet, because you have not physically separated yourself, you probably did for a time, but Spirit is not asking you to do that. Spirit is asking you to just have when you feel like running away, just take a seat. Meditate, go within, consort with higher beings, consort with your highest self. And somebody has noticed that, and it's made you even more unobtainable to the group in which you left or you were considering leaving. And somebody from that group who already perceived you as unobtainable now sees that you're unobtainable to people who they thought had a shot with you. You're not answering the phone to jobs that had been courting you, or had they courted you years ago, you would have given them a chance. And then there's somebody who didn't think they ever had a chance, but you become so far out of everybody's league now, and you walk in that they have to have you. And if this could be a career or whatever, what have you, but this is something that's very close to your heart. So if this is a job, if this is a career, this is the one that's close to your heart. And the group in the past, they weren't as passionately involved as you were. They were in it for the money, or they were in it for the perks, or they were in it for the peer group. You were in it for the passion. Maybe that's why you're now being called to serve the community. Because I'm looking at these cards and I'm thinking your service that you will provide. I'm trying not to cry right now. What in the world? Thank you, Spirit. There's those cleansing waters again. But I genuinely think the service that you want to provide the community, or that you're even considering providing the community, is light work for you. It's easy. So if you're being called now to start a community garden to feed the people, it's already your hobby to garden. It's already your passion to garden. You know what I mean? Here I am saying I believe that gardening is the Lord's work. And so you're happy singing in the garden. You don't have to talk to anybody, and touching that soil, that keeps you grounded, nourishing that earth, getting that sunlight while you're out there. You feel more connected to the divine than anything else. The only thing that comes close is your meditation. And you're genuinely about to show up for the community, providing a service that you feel you would do for free anyway. And you might be, but I'm also in the past anyway. We've got paradigm shift, be grateful in reverse. So let's see. Enough introspection. This is crazy. So in the past, it says enough introspection, rejoin the human species, missing opportunities because your idea of perfect isn't present. This is the past energy. This is not only the past energy, it came up in reverse. Apathy is killing your opportunities. Depression lowering your immune system. This is all in the past. You've had the test. Now you come back with a testimony. And I'm not even hearing that you should say a word. Justice is being served, but you don't even have to say a word. You expect better and accept none. So I definitely feel like in the past they mistreated you. I don't know if that was a relationship. I feel like it was a full group. I'll lie to you not. I feel like it was a full group mistreating you in the past, treating you as an outsider, treating you as less than. And you were like, I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to isolate myself. Excuse me. But the leaving of this group doesn't need to be physical. It needs to be internal. It needs to be spiritual. It needs to be spiritual. It needs to be mental. So sure, Monday, if this is a job, Monday through Friday, you're giving them apathy because they weren't careful with you. Somebody else is wanting you and wanting to be gentle with you. So if this is a career, there is somebody who came into your place of business. They might be the competition, or they might be a budding competition, and they saw how you move, and you move in silence. I don't know if you always move like that, or how this gathering has caused you to move in silence, but you carried whatever this is. You carried the company, you carried the relationship, you carried the group project, you carried the this or that, and everybody else was treating it like a party, like a game, like nothing. So you got quiet, and that's okay. That's okay. Don't run away, don't disappear. But you can remain quiet, because your testimony, feel free to keep it silent, because they see it. They see the glow up. They see the transformation. They see that you're wearing the same old clothes, but you're wearing a new crown as well that was placed on you by the divine. Thank you, Spirit. I just got a really a feeling of yes, I'm tapping my head. This is a faceless channel, but yeah. Yeah. I think that's all. I think I'm going to leave it here. Somebody really desires you. Yeah. And I really do think that this is, how can I say that? There's a strong physical chemistry. I think for a lot of you, they want you for their company. I'm even seeing the phrase, let's get out of here. Somebody wants to leave with you. So if you're thinking about leaving a company, somebody wants to go with you. If you're thinking about leaving a party, is what I really think. I don't know if that's an actual party, or the people at your job who take it as a party and you are passionate about it. But there's somebody who would follow you out. They would literally, oh my God, I'm recording this for my stories today, but and otherwise this has been a faceless channel, but we literally have followers on the Hierophant card, and then we have somebody else, let's get out of here. Excuse me, we have on this I want you card, which is the Ace of Wands. The channel message that I received when I wrote this is let's get out of here. Somebody wants to leave with you. They want to leave with you. They want to leave as your follower. They want to leave on your orders. So if you leave, you're taking somebody with you unintentionally. But I mean, from another card that I actually put away from the I Ching deck, I already read them because those messages get long, and I want to keep this short. But they literally said, the time for you to leave is in the past. So if you're still there, I mean, you don't even need to leave. It's kind of too late for leaving, but introspection was highly recommended. So there needs to be more listening to your internal voice, and forgetting what everybody else's opinions are, because they're taking notes from you. So if you're the teacher, if you're the Hierophant, if you're the pastor, and everybody else is in the pulpit taking notes, why on earth would you take their advice that doesn't feel right to you? When somebody tells you advice and it feels right, the reason why you know it's right is because of your intuition. And that's what you're being strongly asked to nurture, is your intuition. And you're also being asked to do whatever your religious practices are, which I'm pretty sure I said that in a recent reading. So, if you normally go to church, you need to be going to church. If you normally pray at an altar, you need to be praying at an altar. You know what I mean? If you normally are meditating and you haven't been meditating, you need to be meditating. So that is it for us today, folks. Thank you again for tuning into this frequency. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.